So I want to say a few words about the new immigration law that passed lately in France. And well, we've been saying for a long time, Macron and LePen is just the same thing. It's the two faces of the same system. And what bothers me that they are pretending to be against immigration. But you know who is against immigration? I am. I mean, I wish we didn't need to migrate here, whoever we are, for whatever, like all of the reasons. I wish those reasons didn't exist. I mean, who would really want to migrate? Like, who would really want to leave their homeland, their families, their culture, their natural beauties, and live in a place that they don't belong to? It's if we're really seriously talking about immigration, but in fact, like those reasons is a very deeper topic, and of course, like we've been talking about those things a lot of the times, which certainly the politicians like Macron and Le Pen would like to avoid. But while pretending to be against migration, in fact, they love migration because it is the system, the economic system that they are trying to build on is essentially based on the presence of a huge migrant community. So, like today, all of the workers of any kind, like the white-collar workers, of any administrative workers, and everyone in France have a migrant background. So, like, they would never want to actually get rid of them or not have them, or even they would never want to stop them coming from here. It's the opposite. They want as much as possible, but in a way that they feel unwanted, in a way that they are insecure enough that they can work in the worst conditions that are offered to them. Of course, on one hand, they are actually officially trying to change the laws, to change the working conditions, to be able to provide the minimum possible and give the maximum privilege to the bosses, but still, like there's a history of all the workers' rights that have been gained, and it is still difficult for them to achieve some levels. So what they can do instead is to find their ways by using immigration as the tool, as the threat to make a big class of people to work in any condition, and not only work but also be obedient about anything that's happening in the politics. Just for example, if you take the recent conflict in Israel and Palestine, we saw after a very long time, we saw a very clear polarization between the state and the media on one side, having one discourse, and the people in the streets and big masses of people having a completely different discourse. And this polarization certainly scares them. And as they are not able to tear down their mask of freedom of expression, they cannot easily. They still try to protect their image of a democratic state. One of the best tools in their hand, without addressing their political operation directly, is to use the migration of the people. So everybody is constantly under threat of their papers not being renewed. And if you say anything that is dangerous to the system, to these politicians, suddenly your papers may be lost through the bureaucracy for some reason, like you get much like you don't get your responses on time, and so you end up not having your papers. And this is something that is already happening, but certainly they're trying to open up more space and most importantly, give the migrant communities the feeling that they are supposed to feel under the threat, and they have to behave. So this is what it's actually about, and they are not against migration. And what's bothering me fundamentally is that they're taking us for stupid, and that's like really offending to our intelligence. Like, they don't need to pretend, they don't need to play this game. I mean, nobody's stupid, we're not buying this, so please just don't offend us, don't insult us with such cheap plays. So please, I mean, come on, have some dignity. But that's the situation.